What's up, guys? I wanted to make a list of a lot of these new reveals and new cases that we're getting from Computex 2024, kind of categorize everything all together. This is going to be from a bunch of different vendors. We have Leland Lee, Fantex, a bunch of different people there, but I wanted to categorize and kind of show you guys what's coming out in the case market. This isn't going to be like an end-all list of everything that was at Computex, but it's going to cover the majority of what was there. Um, so I wanted to start out with the Leland Lee cases that are coming out. None of these aren't particularly anything incredible. Kind of what we've seen before with this 011. It's really similar, in fact. It's about the size of the original one from what I've seen. I haven't got to see any of these in person, unfortunately, but that is that one. If you like anything you see, I suggest you do a little bit more research on your own. There's lots of good videos out there of people seeing these cases in person. So check those out if you want to get a little bit more of an in-depth look at it. Next, we have the Landcool 217. I'm a big fan of these wooden accents here. You can see that. It's a nice looking case. It's got the power supply, I believe, down there, and it's kind of hidden. Comes with some pre-installed fans. I mean, I like the wood, but it's nothing really new. It's still a box. Most cases will be. There's a few. There's one from Inwin that we'll go over that's pretty neat looking. Now, this is the Landcool 207. That's a pretty friendly price. It looks like it's going to have some good airflow. Normal mid tower comes with a couple fans, I believe, in the front. It looks like reverse fans as well, which is kind of cool. That's always nice for your aesthetic. Keep it looking good, good airflow. That's kind of the roundup of what we got from Lee and Lee. Now, this is probably going to be my favorite case. This is Fantex. They've done a lot of rebranding, but this is different. I highly suggest you look up a video in person. It does it way more justice, but this is cool. It comes in a silver model, looks like, and then this more gold model. The Founders Edition in this with the silver, ooh, I think that would look slick, man. I think it would match really, really, really well. Look really good. It has the uh, the motherboard, the plugins from the back, the Zero. It has support for that. It looks like that motherboard's almost floating, so I think that's pretty cool there. I really like that. Looks like it'll have decent airflow. I don't expect it to be game changing. It'll perform. It's not going to be a top performer just from the looks of it. You have three fans, you have some top exhaust, and you have the rear. So that's a pretty common layout for fans. Nothing really new there, but I expect it to perform okay. Next, we have, oh yeah, these guys. The Eclipse G40A and G40N. They're doing some pretty cool stuff with the cable management here that I like. They actually have channels, right? So you can run all these cables in channels. A lot of people do that when they're doing custom builds and stuff. They'll run them in channels and show off the cabling. So I think that's a pretty cool addition there. I'm really liking that. I want to see more of that in cases. I do think that we can find better ways to cable manage versus some zip ties, some slots for zip ties or Velcro straps. I think that's really what I like to see. I think that's a cool innovation there. These cases, the NV5 and the NV9, I think they're going to do an NV7. I don't think that they've revealed it yet. I really like the look of these cases. They've done some new stuff. I think that's more inside. So the motherboard is more in there. I think I can't remember exactly what they've changed with these. I do know it looks really, really similar. I guess it has zero support, uh, better RGB controller, LED cover along the top and side edge of the main board. Okay, so there's that. There you can see that actually lights up. It looks like. Extensive cable management. It doesn't really give us a good look at that. Now, one other thing here, the original Intho, if I remember right, what they did is they released a chassis and then discontinued the power supply for it. A lot of people are wanting to build in that and do a dual system, but they can't. From what I've read about this, I think this is going to support two ATX power supplies. So full ATX power supplies in this for a dual system build, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but I believe that's what I did read somewhere about this. Giant case, regardless, freaking huge, right? You can see they have three RTX, presumably. It doesn't look like a 4090. Could be. Doesn't look. Yeah, they have the. It's Gonna be a 30 series, it looks like, possibly. Hard to tell exactly. I think it's a 30 series in there just due to the cables there. But you can see there, giant case, two water coolers for the CPU blocks, three GPUs. It's gonna be a behemoth. Now we have Inwin. They're always interesting. So Inwin has some really different cases. This is the Infinity. This isn't a normal looking PC case. This isn't another 011 clone that you see all the time. You see how that opens up? That's crazy, right? So that's definitely a little bit outside the box. It doesn't look like it's so open it's not going to have bad cooling. I mean, I don't know if it's going to have top tier, but the cooling's going to be decent. I mean, just but judging by the open space, and it's got the three fans. And it looks like those fans are kind of going to lose a lot of that air. It's going to go essentially, and then it's going to hit that glass and go up out the top. But it can't have terrible air cooling. It's mostly open. And then they have the mod free. What we have here, it looks like red dot winner. No, F3, F3. This was the other one I believe that was actually at Computex. This is one that was released recently. I think it was at CES too. I think this one was at CES if I'm not mistaken. The F3 by Inwin. This is it's not incredibly different. Um, I don't know how much they're going to charge for this one. It's not a bad case. I don't know why they went to do the bottom half mesh, the top half solid. I'm not sure what's going on there with that. But I mean, you're going to get some front end air intake. It looks like it's got mesh on the top and bottom, and then it's got a rear exhaust. This is going to be a smaller case regardless, mini tower. I think they could have done a little bit more. I would have rather seen that mesh all the way up, to tell the truth, and had support for another fan. I don't see why they couldn't have done it, yet I'm not extremely familiar with this case. I haven't seen much more than what I'm seeing here. We have the Corsair. I'm also really excited about this one. So the 9000D. This case is going to be huge. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Support for 8 120 millimeter fans in the front, right? Now, the Corsair, I think it was the Obsidian. Maybe the Obsidian? Let me Google that really quick. Corsair, Obsidian. Yeah, it's Corsair Obsidian 1000D. So it's kind of like that. It looks like it's sort of a revision from what I can tell. Support 0 motherboards yet again. Uh, EEB and CEB boards. Regardless, this case is going to be a beast. No way to look around it. Giant case. This is something I'd be interested in. I have the Thermaltake View 51 and an Asus TUF G502 right now. But that's a cool looking case there. There was also one more, I think, by Corsair. The 4500X, I believe. Shoot, I'm forgetting here. I think so. I think it was the 4500X that they're releasing. I have a note here. Let me see if I can pull that note up. Let's see, Corsair. I made notes of all these cases because there's so many. 3500X. Okay, so let's Corsair 3500X. There we go. Yeah, so this is the 3500X, 3500X RGB. So decent looking case, black. Spot for a power supply there, at least as a shroud on it. I do like to see that if the power supply is included in the main part, not in a second chamber. That's nice to see. And next we have Cougar, the FV270. This is a cool looking case. It is. I like it. It's got that angled glass there. That is expensive to manufacture, guys. They went through all of that effort to make that angled glass. That's not cheap to do that. So that's kind of a cool thing to see. Comes in white and black. It's a nice looking board. It looks like it has some zero support there. You can see a spot for fans there. It looks like possibly a spot for an intake fan down there. Blows up in. I like to see that. That's going to directly cool your graphics card, so that'll be cool. We got some more views here. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that'll blow some air up in that area. I appreciate that. More spot for fans. Fan. More spot, probably a 360 mil rad there. I think that might be just a 240 support right there. Not sure. It could be 360. I think that's going to support just 240. Another view. There's a view from the top. It looks like view from the side, view from the bottom. That's a slick looking case. I like that. I like that from Cougar. That's a slick looking case aesthetically wise. It's one of my favorite ones on here. Besides that Fantex one, I really liked that as well. And then for their MX600, this is also from Cougar. You have white and black, RGB, versatile GPU orientation, it says there. Let's see if we can get a better view inside. Nothing crazy going on here. Um, Looks like a GPU bracket. Yeah, that's for GPU support right there, it looks like. So this is a relatively small case. Not tiny, not huge. It's just a mid tower, it looks like. But I like to see all that ventilation down there too. That's nice. It looks like the power supply is going to be hidden down there. Ventilation as well. That's good to see. It looks like it's going to be pretty good performer as far as airflow goes. I imagine this to be in the upper tier for airflow. It looks like it's going to perform pretty well. All that is cut out to more airflow back there. I think this case is going to perform pretty well. Some more mesh down there. I would have liked to see maybe even a little bit more ventilation on this side, but also you have to keep in mind you have a path for your air to go down, so I don't think that's necessarily going to be an issue. I think it's going to perform really well. Good looking case in my opinion. Montec. Montec kills it with their price to performance, and just what they're charging for their cases is a good price for what they are. Yet again, looks kind of like the 11. Front I/O on the bottom. XR. This is the XR, another case that's coming out. They have some other ones. I think the Sky 3, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you that in a second. They didn't have a product page on their website for the Sky 3 yet. But this is kind of what that looks like. Interesting case, good looking. And Sky 3, this is the Sky 3. This is what I was going for here. It's like that curved glass yet again. It seems like Caseman, they're going through the trouble to do that. I think that's a new look. There's a few other ones that are adopting that. One has it on the top. Um, but their case manufacturers are starting to adopt that curved glass, it looks like. I know the height Y70, they had that curved, or not the curved, but they had the angled glass with the screen on it. And that was pretty slick looking. They're not manufacturing those. They ran out of screens, the 4K touch screens for it, I guess, so they're not manufacturing that currently. I think they're going to come out height with a version of that. They said once a lower resolution version and start producing it. I don't know exactly when, but they're supposed to start making those Y70s again with the angle glass. Looks kind of similar to this. A lot of them do, but the Sky 3, there's the Sky 3. Not bad, probably a pretty friendly price. Looks like MSRP of 119, 125 for the white version. That's pretty price friendly for what you're getting there. Very aesthetically pleasing. Like I said, Monotech, always very good price cases for how they perform, what they are, how they look. Montec gets a thumbs up from me. Now Fractal, this is one of the biggest ones people were talking about. This case is a piece of art. That they made it as the original era. They made that case to be like to blend in with your furniture as a piece of furniture. People complained the top was solid. It was solid wood before on the original era. So they didn't have a ton of airflow, as you can see, and a little tiny black box. Right? They didn't have a ton of airflow, so they did make some revisions to that. They make it so it pops up and angles when you push on the front. A few more. I think we can get some more notes on this. Explore Era 2. There we go. Looks like it comes in blue and it comes in white. White is my go-to color. I like white. Next Evolution. Water cooling, easily accessible. There's kind of the internals on it. Looks like there's not a date yet, but they did reveal that at Computex 2024. Go back. And then they have the mood. That is, yet again, another slick looking case. Let's take a close. This one's tiny too. It's smaller than the Era 2 from what I saw of it. I haven't seen the actual dimensions, but minimize footprint, sleek fabric, cool operation. Looks like it fits up to a 325 millimeters graphics card, so pretty much utilizing that entire space. That's good to see. Now, Cooler Master, they have like the Cube 500 wood panel, a few others. Let me go to my notes here, but a lot of them aren't on their website. I didn't want to use somebody else's video for this just because I haven't asked permission on anything yet. But they have their Cube 500 wood. So I know they have the Cube 500 on here. They don't have the wood pack, but it's going to be this, but they're coming out with a wooden panel edition is what it is. So you're going to be getting this with wood panels. That's from what I take of it, that's what you're going to be getting there. They also have the NR200P Vision and the TD 500 Max. Let's search NR 200p. Yeah, NR 200p Vision. Yeah, they don't have that one on there either. Some sort of variation of that. Um, Yet again, I'm trying to use my own content and just manufacturers' websites mainly is what I'm trying to do here. I do have a couple forums on here for some Antec cases that I couldn't find any of. And then the TD 500 Max. Okay, and there's this. That's new-ish. I think they already have this on market. I don't see anything this special about this. It looks like every other case that I've seen for the past 10 years, to tell the truth. But there's that. Next, we have Gamer Nexus, actually. They have a good video on these Antec cases that I'm going to cover. The Pro Walnut, C7, all that. Check them out. They had do a pretty deep dive into this of all these cases, but I'm going to cover a couple really quickly. We have the Antec Flux Pro. The Antec, this is the one that seems like people are most excited about. This is going to be the Performance 1M. So they already have the Performance series. This is the tiny version of that, and it looks like the airflow all the way around. It's not going to be Starfire, not going to fit a ton of fans, never will, but it looks like the airflow is going to be pretty good for that. We also have the C8 wood and the C8 aluminum. So this is that C8 with the wooden accents. Decent looking case, nothing too terrible special. Some other stuff, I'll make some videos on some of the other stuff there. There's another one that's coming out. It looks like the Tranquil 140, I suppose. Nova fans, some of their fans and stuff there. No, these are, yeah, this is the C8. So they're going to have the C8, but with wood, it looks like. So this one came out fairly recently also. I do have a kiddo here with me. He's a little crazy. Intermax. Now, Intermax, they have some really interesting looking cases also. They have one with a monitor for temps and stuff. It depends on how good the software is, but let's take a look here. The Intermax Air 240. Here's a picture of this there. Looks like it's going to have great airflow. Most of these cases are decent from the looks of it, and has that channel. Yet again, for the graphics card, it looks like going to channel that air up into the graphics card. And the power supply, I'm guessing, goes down there. Now, this one's a little bit more interesting looking to me. It looks like it has curved glass on both sides. And they have, I haven't seen that cooler. I want to do a little bit of research on that cooler. But that's a cool curved, you know, LCD, looks like AIO 360 millimeter. So that's that. I think this one is going to be the Pano 270. Yeah, this is the Pano 270. Pano for panoramic, I presume. that kind of makes sense to me. Cool looking case. I like it. And I think this is the Pano D58. So it looks like we have some knobs down there. Maybe fan control, volume, not sure. Or buttons. Maybe they're buttons. I bet you they're buttons. Unless that's a power button. Not positive exactly what those are going to be used for. I'm sure they're going to have some sort of software to go along with it. But you can see... you can display probably temperatures, fan speed, maybe some other stuff, lighting control, maybe a knob will be for that. But that's a cool looking case too. Looks like they have a wooden accent for it there. And then the NZXT is going to revamp their H7 Flow. I'm a big fan of the inset fans. So if you can see down there, all those fans are actually flush. And that is a clean friggin' look, man. Let me tell you, that looks clean, clean. I like that. Along with their cover on their motherboard, they've been doing that for a while. Overpriced, in my opinion, especially for what you're getting in that board. It's always been an aesthetically pleasing board from NZXT. But as far as what you're paying for that, the specs of these boards and the capacitors and what they're using in them isn't anything to write home about. It's a decent board, but they're charging like a premium price for something I wouldn't consider to be premium motherboard underneath here. It does look good. But their case, you can't argue that looks nice. That's a very, very clean looking case. And that kind of rounds it up. Like I said, this isn't a comprehensive list, but it does cover a good amount of, what I've seen revealed at Computex. Yet again, highlights for me was this Evolve X2. I thought that was the coolest looking case, doing something different than everybody else has kind of been doing with cases. It's still a box. They have that floating motherboard. It's a neat looking case in that open part there. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you guys have any cases that I missed, let me know down in the comments. I know there's going to be some. I mean, we still have a little bit left on Computex as well, but let me know what you guys want to see. I'm probably going to do some videos of some of the CPUs and stuff and do a roundup on that. Maybe fans. I know there's some new RGB stuff going on with most of these companies as well as their cases that they've been releasing. Anyways, let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys want to see any more videos like this, kind of rounding up everything that we've seen at Computex, I feel like that might be something you guys enjoyed, because I know when I'm looking up stuff, I see, oh, there's an Asus booth. Oh, there's a Fantex booth when I want to see new cases. I just want to see kind of all of them in one. So, anyways, guys, like and comment down below. Share this video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.